So since this video assumes you've been able to install Eclipse on your computer, I did post um, some documentation online. I know it's limited. I tried to create a video, but because of the way how difficult it is to share screens on Zoom, I mean, it's easy to share a screen, but it's when you want to move from screen to screen. And at one point when I'm installing some of the software, like the JDK, it just takes over my computer and I can't even get back to Zoom to share the screen. And I just couldn't create an effective video, so I didn't post it online. If I can help you via Zoom or via email, or maybe a friend can help you, but I'm more than willing to do my best to help you. So now I'm assuming that you actually have installed Eclipse on your computer. So it should be Eclipse on the screen, the home screen. There should be a button, or on the start window, or that start button, you should see Eclipse. Or I think you can type Eclipse into if you have a Windows machine, the little bar where you can type in an application. But there definitely should be Eclipse, should be a button for shortcut for Eclipse should be installed on the home page. And so I'm gonna actually do my best. Let's see if I can share Eclipse with you now. So I'm gonna do share screen. Let's see if I can find it. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. So I'm gonna share this hopefully with you. And now I actually have not created a project yet. And so let's just, now you can see there's many ways to create a project or a file. The one thing that's important, students, we want to create a Java project. And not just a project, but a Java project. And because Eclipse is flexible, it can do things other than just Java. Okay, so but I'm going to do it with this file menu. And you go down to that first menu item that says new. And I basically create all my projects and classes here. That's one way of doing it. I shouldn't always, I don't always do it. Sometimes I do it. Okay, so then I think this is how I always create a new project. Now a project is similar to a folder on your computer. So if you have all these different courses, you're taking English and French and I don't know, biology, you don't just put all your files in one folder. You separate it to keep things organized. Or you wouldn't just put everything on your home. Actually, some people I see, they have thousands of icons in their homepage. It gets unwieldy. Okay, so we want to organize our files. So even if our program, most of our programs at the beginning will consist of one file, we always have to put it in the context of a project. When we create a new Java project, we're actually creating a new folder. It automatically creates a new folder on our computer, and I'll show you that later. Okay, so I'm just going to go. So I go, once again, I go File, New, and I just carefully, whoops, see, I'm kind of bad at this. You can also do the shortcut Alt-Shift-N. I go to Java project, and now a dialog box pops up, and I have to give the project a name. I don't change any of the default settings here. And I'm just going to give the project a name. The project name isn't important, but give it something meaningful like project 1, project 2, maybe you can't remember what it is. You probably won't have a lot of projects, but if you had like 20 or 30 projects and they were just numbered like 1, 2, 3, you might go, okay, what is this? I don't remember, So maybe give the project a meaningful name. So I'm going to call it first, something really exciting like first project. I'm not going to use spaces. I don't think spaces actually matter. And for the project name, I'm never going to actually know what your project name is, or it's not important to me. Okay, so then so I'm done. I'm just going to go finish. The important thing is that in that window, that a text box called label project name, we put you give it a project, and I just go finish. And students, now this is something new that when I used Eclipse before, it didn't have this. It wants to create a file called moduleinfo.java. And I think it's really important that we not do it. Okay, and that's actually, I think, for the variety of things, like if we want to compress our files, or it's for more, I actually have to look more into this, students, because I just downloaded the latest version of Eclipse, and now I'm starting to see this. This is totally new to me. But what I found is, you want to avoid problems, just select Don't Create. Okay, so you see, now it actually in this Project Explorer, so our project name was first project, and we have this SRC. Notice I don't have any files. If we had allowed it to create that module info file, we would have seen that file there. So I don't want to see any, so when I first create the project, I don't want to see any files in this SRC folder. Okay, so, and then I'm going to go, now students, one way thing you can is highlight this folder, this SRC folder, and I'm going to right click, and you'll see that that context menu pops up again, new, well, kind of similar to what we saw before. We want to select as what's called a class. Don't select file, we want to select class. There's a couple ways you can do this. There's like 3 ways I can think of. You can also go file, and then new, because I'm a little clunky here. And now I got to scroll over, and then I kind of lose the menu. Okay, so I go file, and I go back to source, students. Oh, so I did it. You go, but I definitely choose class. And now a new dialog box appears. Now the class name is important here. Okay, so no spaces, students. And the class name should start with an uppercase character. That's by convention. And so when we see that uppercase character, we go, oh, we're talking about a file name. So it's kind of like you're doing a favor to other Java programmers. So ours is I'm just gonna call it Hello World, no spaces. And each word is gonna start with an uppercase character. The world is also gonna start with uppercase W. And see how I say every word starts with an uppercase. So if you wanna be a good Java citizen, make sure that when you create a class name or a file name, it's every word starts up with an uppercase character. And now I'll just go finish. And since if we actually want to make things a little easier for ourselves, it says which method stubs you like to create. We could just select public static void main. Because we're going to see public static void main all over the place. And I'm going to go, you don't have to do that. You could, I'll show you in a second. Okay, so you see how we have that Hello World program? Now we see actually, this is actually a Java program. So notice that it's when we created a class, we gave it the name Hello World. And then we actually creates a file called Hello World with the extension JAVA. And when you upload files to me, you want to make sure it has that .java extension. And where is this file located? Well, I think you can just right click it and see where it goes all the way down to properties. And it actually tells you the location. So if you need to upload a file, you can always remind me because I know students forget. But so my files always automatically go into this folder, user scarb eclipse-workspace. And then we created a project called first project. So they actually created a folder on the computer called first project. Inside first project folder, there's a folder called SRC. And then that's where the hello world.java file is located. So I'll just cancel this. Okay, and so do you remember I said we chose that public static void main stub when we created this file? So it actually generated this code for us. You see where that / to do auto-generated method stuff? That's what's called a comment. The computer just will ignore everything after the / So I'm just going to erase this, and I can put my name is Carl. So this is good. We want to put comments in our program. So it'll ignore everything after the /. So everything after those / is ignored. We'll talk more about comments later. But now I want to print hello world to my computer. So I'm going to type in public. Oh, I already got the public static void main. Okay, so the first line is always, it says public class, and then the name of our file, which is hello world. And that was generated for us automatically. And then there's this left brace. And notice that every left brace has a matching right brace. See, and after this main, after the public static void main string args, notice there's a set of parentheses. And after that, there's a left brace, and then there's this enclosing right brace. And so here, we're going to type in system out .println, and notice that the S is uppercase, everything else is lowercase, and the spelling must be exact. I ended with a semicolon, and inside there I'm going to put double quotes. And when I type in one double quote, it automatically puts in a second. It's a little, can be annoying sometimes. So it's got the 2 double quotes. You see where the cursor is, and I'm just going to say I'm going to type in hello world. And that's it, students. That's a Hello World program. So let's just press save right here. Looks like a floppy disk, which no one uses anymore. So that's one way to press save, to save our code. You can just go save. When you run your program, it automatically saves it. But until you actually save your code, it's not like Microsoft Word. It doesn't automatically save your updates until you have to do something to save it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that hello world.java icon, right click it, or the equivalent of right clicking, and the context menu appears, and I'm going to see a run as, I'm going to do run as Java application. And you see up here, you actually see what's inside the double quotes, hello world? That's what appears up here. Now let's say I go there and I type in hello world, and I type in hello world again. Okay, and so now I go back to this icon here. I right click, and you see where it says run as? I type Java, and make sure you do Java application. And now whatever in the double quotes should appear. You do, okay, yeah, it says say, yeah, maybe you have to do that. And do you see how it actually now, whatever it is, I have inside the double quotes appears. Now students, those double quotes must be there. If I take one of them out, see I get this, we don't like these red dots. Everyone gets them, I get them. It's because you have to have the two double quotes. So before the string that you're displaying, you need a double quote. And they have to match. So you have to see how we have two, we have a first one and a second one. If I put another one here, let's say I have, now students, here I have I have a double quote starts, then here's the matching one here. Oh, then I have another one. It's kind of, they have to come in pairs. It should be an even number. So I just take this one out, that red dot goes away. Oh, what if I take out this semicolon? It says, oh, we're done with the command. Oh, see that, what happens if I hover this? Can we see where it says syntax error? It tries to tell us what our error is. Sometimes the messages are not good. And so students, let's say I want to write a comment. So this is a one-line comment. See where it says that // and then ignored everything after that. Say I want a multi-line comment. So let's say I want to write a comment above public class. Oh, my typing is so clunky. So I'm going to type in // Now I can have a multi-line comment, and I go, this is, and I have a new line, hello world program. And see how there's, so /*, and then it ends with */, no spaces in between the star and the slash, and that's how you can have a multi-line comment. So what happens if I put a space here? I don't think I like it. Yeah, see how I put a space in between the / and the star? It didn't like it, so let's just backspace. One way to learn, students, is just to experiment and deliberately make errors and then try to fix them. Okay, so now if I wanted to upload this, I make sure I save it, because so again, to save your program, you can just run it again. That always saves it. But notice how since the last time I ran it, I added some comments. This is a Hello World program. And so I either have to just click this floppy disk, or I have to run it again. Otherwise, if you upload it, let's say you've added some text to your file and you upload it, and you haven't saved it, I won't see your latest change. Sometimes students will actually write a program, and if for some reason they actually don't run their program, they just upload it, and they haven't saved it. All I see is an empty file, which is kind of sad. Now, students, we want meaningful class names. See how it says public class Hello World? So I'm going to give you an assignment. Don't call it Hello World. I'll tell you. So you're going to write an assignment. I'm going to actually write it up. You're just going to do something very similar to this. Only your program is going to print out your name. And so either your class will be called like first program or public class, my name, but don't call it. So if you're printing out your name, don't call it Hello World, because that's the class name should have some kind of relevance to your program. Okay, so I think that I'm done here, and I'm just going to stop sharing. And hopefully I'll see you. And again, students, I'm going to post a link to a Zoom meeting for tomorrow at 9. But again, you don't have to attend. You don't have to attend any meetings. You just have to do the assignments. So I'm going to end this. Did I stop the, yes, I stopped the recording, and now I'm going to click end.